Heat 2 just came out, and I'm having a hard time feeling like it's not like a government program meant to ramp up male literacy. It just seems unnatural to me. Heat, for those of you who don't know, is a closeted classic. It's a film about Al Pacino and Robert De Niro lusting after each other, and it's set to a synth score that makes me want to crash my car. It is one of the all-time great gay American films. If you haven't seen it, it's about to be spoiled, so you need to turn me off. If you haven't seen Heat, turn me off, and you want to have it not be spoiled. Pacino plays a cop, and De Niro is a thief, but like a Virgo thief. Very professional, very organized. So good in a way you're kind of like, can't we just let him do it? It seems important to him. But Pacino's like, absolutely not. Pacino's vibe is, his energy is completely unhinged. Like an aunt at a wedding. He's just screaming random prepositional phrases. He's making no sense. He's got the bouffant of a former nun. It seems like he's being puppeted by Brian Henson at many times throughout the film. Chris, do you mean Jim Henson? No. I mean Brian Henson. De Niro, on the other hand, he's a lot more quiet. Both of their vibes are very disconcerting, but De Niro's in more of a quiet hell. His hell is more internal. The only time these two men find any peace at all is when they meet together in a diner over coffee. Pacino is hunting De Niro. De Niro knows this. It turns him on immensely. Pacino pulls over De Niro, he asks him out to coffee, he obliges. They go. It's the only time we see these men smile throughout the entire movie. They're talking dirty to each other. Filthy chat. I'm gonna get you. No, you're not going back. Their Pacino and De Niro glands are expanding like bullfrogs. The table's about to tip over. These guys are one tiramisu away from creating the first male pregnancy. This is the first time in an hour that we've seen Pacino sit still and stop bouncing around like a fucking Fraggle. He's calm, but he's stimulated. He's still perky, but he's calm. It's one shared dessert is all it's gonna take for these two just to touch spoons. Boom! They're gonna jump across the table, tear each other's men's warehouses off with their teeth, and have full-on Pacino intercourse and De Niro intercourse right there in the diner. This is unsafe tension. Chemistry pulsating. The only time in the film that we see them at peace. Oh, Chris, what about the time where De Niro is looking at the sky with his gamer girlfriend? Don't give me that. Don't come into my house with that. Don't come into the brush telling me that. De Niro meets a graphic designer in this like WeWork Barnes & Noble cafe, and they have no chemistry. It's very much like George Michael and his wife that he throws snowballs at in the Last Christmas video. It's a mess. It is a mess. The only time they ever talk, they mute it out and they just blast synth over it. Because De Niro's probably just explaining the plot to an I Love Lucy episode. She's got like Felicity hair. She's like, he went to Folsom. She's like an Oberlin grad. There's nothing. There's nothing. He just wants to piss off Pacino. There's a crucial moment where De Niro robs his last bank and he can get on a plane that's chartered by John Voight, and he and his gamer girlfriend can go to Paris to start fresh. He's driving on the 105 to the airport in silence with his girlfriend, and you see him start to realize, I can't. This can't work for me. I don't want to sit and talk about magical realism over mimosas. I don't want to hear how nourishing bone broth is. I want to share a bulldog with Pacino. I don't want to hear about how nourishing bone broth is. I want to watch I Love Lucy in matching robes with Pacino next to our wheezing bulldog. Hey, De Niro, you want to meet my friends? They're all midwives. No, I want to rob a bank so that I can cook Pacino's goose. What was that, baby? Nothing, baby. I got tickets for us to go see Fiona Apple. All I want to do is piss off Al Pacino. So in a moment of clarity, De Niro's like, I don't want to go start a not-for-profit with Edie here. So he pulls over. He's like, 1 second, baby. And he goes into like a Radisson, causes a ruckus, pulls the fire alarm, Pacino wakes up in his nest, floors it over, chases De Niro around LAX, ultimately kills him, and De Niro dies in Al Pacino's arms. And the song that they play during this scene, it's about 30, it feels like 30 minutes. It's an operatic synth ballad. It's just Moby playing a synth patch with broccoli florets. He's doing the cauliflower arpeggiator for. It makes Einstein on the Beach look like the Cars for Kids jingle. This song, it's never ending, and it's so melodramatic. Like, this is, I guess it's sad, but it's not that sad. And Pacino's bouffant is just going wild at Terminal 5. And it's like, yeah, it's not ideal to be shot by Al Pacino at LAX, but like nowadays that's an Airbnb experience. That's something people would pay $80 for. It's like swimming with the pigs. That's like something that Time Out LA would put in the top 10 things you got. Griffith Park Observatory, haunted hayride getting chased by the Haim sisters, get shot by Al Pacino at LAX. It's sad, but it's not that. It's not. Unless you take it in consideration that this is a love arc, and in which case, yes, this is two men tortured by their quest for something that they only find in each other, and by that point, both of their lives are too far gone. Yeah, that's very sad. That is very sad. Get the cauliflower arpeggiator going. Oh yeah, so don't show me Heat 2 unless it's Pacino and De Niro living in a revised future in Florida as realtors, and once a week they chase each other around downtown Orlando.